चलो
A very good evening. A very good evening, everybody. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome all the distinguished speakers, esteemed academicians, faculty members. A very good evening, everybody. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome all the distinguished speakers, esteemed academicians, faculty members, research scholars, and all the participants who have joined us from India and abroad. I, Dr. Havisha Gupta from University of Delhi, am honored to be your moderator for today's session. I once again welcome you all for joining this session. Today is the 11th day of the 15-day online faculty development program on research publication excellence, from manuscript preparation to successful journal acceptance. Before we begin, I would like to thank Jammu and Kashmir Economic Association and SSHI in collaboration with Global South Research Foundation, BS Bahadur, BS Abdur Rahman, Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai, School of University, Faridabad, College of Vocational Studies, University of Delhi, for bringing together this inspiring platform for collaborations and academic learnings. So today's session is about how to transform emerging tourism trends into publishable research, which focuses on identifying real shifts in how people travel and develop them into rigorous academic journal articles. It is my privilege to introduce our esteemed resource person, Professor Erkol Bayram. She is a professor of tourism and currently serves as the Dean of Faculty of National Office Coordinator at the Sinop University, Turkey. She holds a PhD in tourism management and has over 20 years of professional and academic experience in tourism, hospitality, destination management, sustainability, women entrepreneurship, and digital transformation. She has published extensively in SSCI and Scopus journals and has edited several books with Springer, Emerald, Routledge, IGI Global, and Apple Academic Press. She has delivered more than 100 keynote speeches and invited talks across Europe, Asia, Africa, and Middle East, and is involved in several Erasmus Plus projects and cost actions. Ma'am, I am truly honored to have you with us, and your insights will help us better understand how tourism trends, how tourism trends can be included on our publications in future. So, ma'am, I hand over this platform to you and your valuable insights. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much to all great members of the 15-day online international faculty development program. And I am really grateful to my esteemed college Professor Ahmed Malik for kind invitation. I would like to share my PPT. I hope you can see well my presentation. Sorry, can you see my presentation well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Today we would like to discuss about emerging tourism trends into a publishable research. But before this topic, I think it is better to identify some important issues regarding research. Maybe we can start with the definition of research. It is the careful investigation of any facts in any branch of knowledge. And according to the important researcher, research is a systematic effort to gain new knowledge. And according to another researcher, research defining and redefining problems, formulating hypotheses, objectives, collecting, organizing, and evaluating data, making deductions, and reaching conclusion, testing the conclusion to determine whether they fit the formulating hypothesis or objective. Why we have aim research, making research, since we have a desire to get a research degree along with its consequential benefits and desire to face the challenge in solving the unsolved problems and desire to get intellectual joy of doing some creative work and desire to be of service to society and to have a getting respectability and directive of government employment and conditions. Also validate unitation, improve methods, demand of job, and for publication or patent is another research aims. Firstly, we can start with making research with choosing a subject. It must be based on an idea. It must be based on our experiences. It must be based on our reading, or it must be absolutely original topic. And another important issue is the research design. It is a plan, structure, and strategy of investigation, so conceived as the obtained answer to research question or problems. It includes an outline of what the investigator or problems. It includes an outline of from writing to hypothesis and their operational implication to final analysis of data. According to the important researcher, the design is the arrangement of conditions for collection and analysis of data in a manner that aims to combine relevance to the research and purpose with the economy in procedure. Research design. Sorry. Can we continue?
Yes, please continue. Dr. Meenakshi, your mic is getting unmuted. Please, all are requested to keep your mic muted. Please go ahead, Professor.
Okay. Research design are the specific procedure involved in the research process, like data collection, data analysis, and report writing. We have some important feature of a research design. Firstly, we have a plan. In this plan, we have to determine to specify the sources, types of information relevant to the research problem. And secondly, we have a strategy. This means which approach will be used for gathering or analyzing data. And many studies are done under these two constraints, time and budget. Time means we have a limited time to do this work since our data can be outdated. So we have to be fast and we have to get data quickly on time, and we have to make analysis as soon as possible, and then to send the journal in a very soon time. It is not useful for the research outputs to make our paper for a long time. It must be very quick period. Research design associated with qualitative and quantitative research. All design must be ruled according to these basic research methods. We have types of qualitative and quantitative research design and their primary uses. In quantitative design, intervention and non-intervention research. Quantitative research explains whether or intervention influences an outcome for one group as opposed to another group, and also associate or relating variables in a predictable pattern for one group or individuals. And also quantitative research describes trend for a population people. When we wish to get data by quantitative research methods, we can use survey research, correlational research, or experimental research. In qualitative research design, our aim is to explore common experiences of individuals to develop a theory, and also exploring the shared culture of a group of people, and explore individual stories to describe the lives. Also, in these issues, the grounded research, ethnographic research, narrative research is the main part of qualitative research. Combined quantitative and qualitative research design means combining quantitative and qualitative data to best understand and explain a research problem, using quantitative and qualitative data for individuals to study education problems that they face in their settings. And this means the action research or mixed research. We have some characteristic of research, and these compose of systematic. All steps must be interrelated one to another. It must be logical, agreeing with the principle of logic, and it must be empirical. Conclusions should be based on evidences or observations. Some characteristic must be objectivity, replicable, transmittable, or quality control. Maybe we can start to object our objective by defining, like being simple, adding more variables means more difficult, to use our opportunity and get help at all this stage by our colleagues or experienced researcher. The best way also to get help is adding some friends on LinkedIn or Facebook and request them to have a research or article like this. Literature research comes with start with the checking to see if all our idea is original. It must be novel, and get article, and we have to read article and references, and most of these vital when writing up reports, and find the gap areas and find the obsolete measurements and results and define objective of the study. Our steps involved in a research: choosing a subject, literature survey, defining and formulation of specific object, prepare synopsis, procuring of suitable approach or materials, design of experimental setup, preliminary experiments, and execution of the project, and accurate measurement and data collection. Our step involved in a research: data analysis or error compounding, hypothesis testing and verification, results and discussion, generalization, interpretation, and drawing conclusion, and preparation of the project report and drawing thesis. In general, the process of research comes with a question or problem, and then we can formulate the goals and objective. Also, another point is planning and designing research, and generate the research results, and interpret results, and draw conclusion. There are 6 steps in the process of research. First, identify a problem, make a prediction that, if confirmed, resolve the problem, gather data relevant to this prediction, analyze and interpret to the data set if it supports the prediction, and resolve the question initiated to research. Research methodology. First, it starts with the research philosophy, and this is also composed of epistemology, interpretivism, ontology, and axiology. And secondly, research methodology has the important section is research approach. It must be inductive or it must be deductive. And this mostly related with what the aim of research and what should we understand from the research, the way and the understand of research. Research strategy is the third important part, composed of quantitative, qualitative, combining quantitative and qualitative. This means multi-strategy research. research. And the research design, another section is action research, case study, experimental, longitudinal, cross-sectional, and archival analysis and comparative. And the data collection, interviews, questionnaires, observations, secondary data, and finally data analysis composed of descriptive, statistic, inferential statistic, grounded theory, narrative analysis, discourse analysis, visual analysis, and content analysis. A research report generally includes introduction and statement of a problem, review of the relevant literature, and statement of a hypothesis or research objective, and design and description, experimental design, description of measurement and data analysis, error compounding, presentation of results, discussion, conclusion, limitation, and implication, suggestion for future work, acknowledgement, references, cited, and appendices. Type of research, firstly, comes with the application, pure and apply research, apply finding solution for immediate problems facing a society or industry, pure, concerned with the generalization and formulation of a theory. The second inquiry mode, quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative measurement of quantity or amount. Qualitative concern with the qualitative phenomena and reasons for human behavior. And research studies must be based on objective, exploratory, or formulative research to gain familiarity with a phenomenon or to achieve new insights into it. To study accurately the characteristic of a particular individual, situation, or a group includes survey. Research studies, diagnostic research, to determine the frequency with which something occurs or with which it is associated with something else. And secondly, to test a hypothesis of a causal relationship between variables. And characteristic of a research, systematic, logical, empirical, reductive, replicable. And types of research, pure and apply research, exploratory or formulative research, descriptive research, diagnostic study, evaluation studies, action research, experimental research, analytical study or statistical method, historical research and survey and case study. Need and purpose of the research. This is important also in the introduction section. You have to give detailed information. What is the need and what is the purpose of our paper? It helps in smooth sailing of the research process. It saves the money, manpower, and material. It helps the researcher for advanced planning and avoids duplication. It helps to modify the research if any difficulties, and it gives reality to research. Research design process also includes selection of research topic and problem, framing research design, framing sampling design, collection of data, data analysis, editing, coding, processing, preservation, and writing research reports. There is a basic components of the good research design: theory grounded, environment, feasibility of implementation, redundancy, efficient. It should be flexible, economical, unbiased, fulfill the objective of research, and more appropriate all the aspects of research. It should guide him to achieve results. It provides scientific base for his research. It should facilitate. It also should facilitate to complete research work within this place time. And also component of good research, title of investigation, purpose of the study, review of related literature, statement of the problem, scope of the investigation. And it is important also objective of the study, variables, hypothesis, selection of sample, data collection, analysis of data. There are types of research design: experimental and non-experimental design. Experimental design, two types: quasi and experimental. While doing these papers process, we have to keep our record of the literature we can collect, record where and when you retrieve the information, and we have to use a station manager program like Referx. And in the data evaluation, selecting the literature comes the first. Read widely. When you read for your literature review, you are actually doing two things at the same time: trying to define your research problem, finding a gap, asking a question, continuing previous research, and counterclaiming. Trying to read every source relevant to your research problem, and it is usually impossible to do the latter. You will need to identify most relevant and significant works and focus on them. In the data evaluation process, it is important selecting literature. As we define our problem, we will become more easily be able to decide what to read or what to ignore. Before we define our problem, hundreds of sources will seem relevant. However, we cannot define our problem until we read around our research area. This seems a vicious circle, but what should happen is that as you read, you define your problem, and as you define your problem, you will more easily be able to decide what to read and what to ignore. How to read the material: reading for the big picture, read the easier work first, skim the document and identify major concepts. After we have a broad understanding of 10 or 15 papers, you can start to see patterns. We have to narrow our focus, start from the new material to old, general to specific, and as we read and become more informed on the topic, you will become probably need to go back and do more focused research and think, analyze, and weed out. Arrange to spend some beaver time with an experienced researcher in the field of study to get feedback and to talk through any problems encountered. And read the material closer. Step 1, read the abstract. Decide whether to read the article in detail. Step 2, read the introduction. It explains why the study is important, and it provides review and evaluation of relevant literature. And step 3, read methods with a close, critical eye. Focus on participants, measure, and procedure. Step 4, evaluate results. Do the conclusions seem logical? Can you detect any bias on the part of the researcher? Step 5, take discussion with a grain of salt. Age or smooth out. Pay attention to limitation. And analyze the literature. When we analyze the literature, we always have to take notes and read through each paper that will be included in the review. In the notes we have, it must be include purpose of the study reviewed, synopsis of content, research design or methods used in the study, brief review of the findings, and sorry. Once notes complete, organize common themes together. Some people do this in a Word document. Others use index cards so they can shuffle them. Some people construct a table of info to make it easier to organize their thoughts. As you organize your review, integrate findings elicited from note-taking or table-making process. We have some question in our mind in your review. What do we already know in the immediate area concern? What are the characteristics of the key concept or the main factors or variable? What are the relationship between these key concept, factors or variables? What are the existing theories? What are the inconsistencies or other shortcomings in our knowledge or understanding? What ways need to be further tested like that? In generally, there are some research tips from the use the E or Z guide to find key databases or other sources related to our topics. Consult with a librarian for resource recommendation and how to use them. And talk to experienced researcher in our field. They can recommend resources and identify keywords or authors. You can connect me if you need any topics or if you need any ideas via my email or my social media. Look at the reviews in a completed dissertations or reports from your program to get an idea of the format and requirements. And when collecting references, use a citation management tools like RefWorks or EndNote. We have to ask ourselves, the topic is manageable, like to really interested in, I am to really interested. Does it meet all the assignments? And is a paper on in this topic feasible? Like that. Another important topic is peer-reviewed journal. We have to publish journal article are common source of literature, and we have to publish journal article require an editorial board to review work, make correction like that. And the work has been reviewed, edited, criticized, and corrected. Now we can continue with the importance of tourism trends. It is rapidly transforming with the technological development, globalization, and changing consumer behavior. Emerging trends in its dynamic environment are of a great importance for both industry and professionals and academics. And proper identification of trends for academic research and forms original and current studies, and research ideas are shaped by industry observation, literature gap, and societal needs. Our presentation, maybe you can understand that, covers the key steps of the general research, and now we are focusing the tourism trends into academic research. Comprehensive guide is provided from trend identification to the publication project. What are the emerging trends in tourism? Emerging tourism trends refer to new tendencies in tourism sector that have not yet matured but are growing rapidly. These trends are shaped by the convergence of social, economical, technological, and environmental dynamics. Changing consumer behavior, global events, and technological innovations play a decisive role in the emergence of these trends. Key examples: ecotourism, digital nomad tourism, sustainable tourism, and health and wellness tourism, experience-based travel. Why should emerging trends must be research topic? Emerging tourism trends offer researcher original and current study opportunities. These trends provide significant advantage not only in contributing to academic literature, but also generating practical solutions to industry problems and obtaining research funding. Our research topic in tourism industry must be original and timeless advantage. Also, it gives us academic and practical contributions, funding and support opportunities, and also multidisciplinary research potential. Correctly identifying emerging tourism trends is the foundation of strong research. Industry reports, digital platforms, and expert opinions are the most effective sources for early trend detection. Using these methods together increase research originality. Identification comes with the industry reports and papers, social media analysis and online platforms, conferences and seminars, and expert opinion and field research. Scientific databases are the primary tool for systematically reviewing existing literature on tourism data. Platforms such as Scopus, Web of Science, Google Scholar offer keyword researchers situation analysis, topic-based filtering to help researchers identify gaps in the literature. Using Scopus and Web of Science, access via Google Scholar, gap analysis in the literature, and determining keywords and topics is another important issue. Digital tools and technological methods play a critical role in identifying emerging tourism trends. Platforms such as Google Trends and Twitter Analytics, along with data mining and text analysis techniques, provide researchers with a real-time and comprehensive data. Trend analysis with Google Trends, data mining techniques, Twitter Analytics, and social media tracking, text analysis, and sample application. Qualitative research methods play a critical role in deeply understanding tourism trends. Techniques such as interviews, focus groups, and Delphi method provide rich and holistic findings beyond numerical data. Collaboration with industry professionals and academics strengthens the validity of and scope research. Transitioning from emerging tourism trends to strong research question is the foundation of successful academic work. A properly formulated research question determines the focus of study and guides the hypothesis development process. Firstly, the main question is how to formulate a research question. As I mentioned before, this must be completely comes from the reviewing literature. And also, we have sample research question. What is the aim of our paper, and the point that we start for the project is really important. Hypothesis formulation methods and analyzing relation between variables is another important dimensions of tourism research. Quantitative, qualitative, mixed methods offer different strengths in emerging tourism trend research. The right design choice is determined by the research question, data access, and target audience. The advantage and limitation of each method must be carefully evaluated. Quantitative method, survey and statistic, qualitative method, in-depth analysis, mixed methods, comprehensive analysis, and sample study plans is the great dimension of research design. The selection of appropriate data collection tools in tourism research directly affects reliability and validity of the study. Methods such as surveys, observations, and document analysis must be carefully determined according to the research question and target audience. Ethical rules and necessary permissions are an integral part of the process. Survey and measurement tool design is so important. Without any literature review, it is not possible to take dimensions regarding that. And the ethical issues in required permission come mostly related with the giving admission from the previous researchers, and the observation and document analysis and criteria for selecting appropriate tools is also important. The case study method for in-depth examination of a tourism trends enable contextual and understanding of a complex phenomena. This approach allows detailed analysis of specific cases such as ecotourism destination, digital nomad hubs, or sustainable tourism practices. And purposive sampling is preferred in case selection. It is critical that the selected case is directly related to the research question, rich in information, and accessible. In the analysis process, data triangulation is applied by combining interviews, observation, and document analysis. Findings are systematically interpreted through thematic coding. Analyzing collected data with appropriate methods directly affects the reliability and validity of research. Statistical, qualitative, mixed analysis and approach enable comprehensive findings in emerging tourism trends. Statistical analysis one of the important one is SPSS, but this is the most basic ones in our era. We have the multi-dimension model and mixed model in the statistical analysis like Smart PSL, Amon-Ra, and other methodologies. Content analysis and thematic coding is also so trendy in tourism research, since it is less timing and needs a less time for making a paper. It can be selected by the main researcher. Content analysis, interpretation of results, mostly related with the interpretation of an evaluation of the data, secondary data, and the mixed meta-analysis. For example, we use both Smart PSL and also the both interviews. We have some challenges when we doing research in tourism. Emerging tourism trend research comes with many difficulties due to it is rapidly changing dynamic literature and nature. Limitation in data access, insufficient resources, and the continuous evaluation of trends pose serious obstacles for researchers. Being aware of these challenges and developing solutions is critically important for a successful research project. Firstly, one of the important challenges is data access issues. Many papers and many journals, reputable journals, need payment to access the data. You cannot read and you cannot check the literature and papers without paying them via your library. And secondly, we have limited resources. We are using qualitative method, we are using survey, but sometimes it is not possible to access the data that we require. And also the tracking changing trends. The trends change very fastly. Before 5 years ago, when the pandemic was started, we are talking with the metaverse, but we are now talking with the EL in metaverse. So the time change fastly and it is not possible to catch up them. So one of the biggest suggestion to you, you have to be on time to make your research, and it is not possible to choose timeless paper topic, since the journal wish and need trendy topics from you. So you have to switch your paper according to the what journal needs and what editor needs. The editor needs the fresh topics, trendy topics. So it is not possible, but you have to be on time and you have to be fast. Also, methodological adaptation difficulty is another important issue. Present the background, purpose, and significance of the research, highlight the gap in the literature, and guide the reader towards the research question. And secondly, describe research design, sample and data collection, and analysis process in detail, and pay attention to the principle and replicability, and present the data using tables and gaps and descriptive narrative, avoid interpretation and convey, and only objective findings and relate research finding to the research question, and compare findings with existing literature and interpret similarities according to the differences. Sorry. Scientific article writing requires the introduction, method, findings, and discussion section to form a coherent whole. Each section convey a different dimension of the research to reader, and using clear, consistent, and academic language directly affects success in the publication process. Relating research finding to existing literature is one of the most critical elements of a scientific study. Proper referencing of sources increases the credibility of the work and clarify its contribution to the academic community. Consistent use of a citation style such as APA MLI or Chicago is mandatory, and compare our findings with similar studies in the literature, discuss both converging and diverging points. This is approach highlights the original contribution of our research and ensure positive evaluation reviewers. An effective abstract conveys the essence of the research briefly and clearly. A good abstract should summarize the purpose, method, findings, conclusion of the research. And this section which helps the reader decide whether to read the full article plays the decisive role in the publication process. And choosing the right journal directly determine the visibility and impact of our research. Knowing peer-reviewed journals in the tourism field, understanding publication criteria, and evaluation journal impact factors are fundamental step of successful publication process. There are some key important journals, and you have to check the impact factor, and also the peer review journals and criteria, and open access channels is also important. Article submission is the most critical stage of the academic publication process. Meticulous pre-submission preparation, a professional approach to peer review, and effective management of revision ensure our research is successfully published. Pre-submission preparation, revision, and both response writing, peer review process, acceptance, and publication preparation. Persuasive writing tactics are one of the cornerstone of academic success. Clear, consistent, fluent expression ensure that complex research, finding research, wide audiences. Avoiding unnecessary technical jargon and using visual support significantly increases the impact of the article. It must be clear and consistent expression. It must affect use of visual. It must avoid unnecessary jargon and support with tables and figures. Proper situation is one of the fundamental ethical principles of research, and all sources must be fully referenced according to the APL and MLI or the relevant journal format. And plagiarism means using other ideas or text without permission and seriously damage or academic reputation. Effectively sharing our research findings on academic and professional platforms, increasing the visibility and impact our work. Conferences, symposiums, and digital channels are essential tools in this process. We have to participate in conferences and symposium. Tips for effective presentation preparation is also important. Maybe you can make another workshop regarding this topic. And academic promotion on social media is so important. And I would like to give an example from my life. It is the biggest part of our life. And using ResearchGate and Academia Edu. A study on ecotourism examined sustainable tourism trends using qualitative methods and was published in Tourism Management. Research focusing on digital nomad tourism was accepted in the Journal of Tourism Research using mixed methods. This study successfully demonstrated the impact of remote work culture on tourism demand. A case study examining health tourism trends was published in the International Journal of Tourism Research, generating significant academic attention. Innovative methodology and current trend analysis accelerated the acceptance process of these studies. In the future, technological developments are fundamentally transforming the future of tourism research. Tools such as big data analytic, ML, and offer researcher the ability to process data and discover patterns at scale previously impossible. Innovation like virtual reality, augmented reality, and the Internet of Things are opening doors to new research. And we need some multidisciplinary approach with sociology, psychology, environmental sciences, and computer sciences to develop ourselves and papers quality. And we have some errors, common mistakes made during research process directly affect the quality and publishability of the work. It is crucial to be careful at every stage, from scope determination to analysis writing, like research scope to narrow, broad, and errors in data analysis, common writing mistakes, solution-oriented approach. Effective time management during the research and publication process is the key success. Creating a work schedule allows you to conduct research, writing, and revision stage in a planned manner. And we have some papers and further reading. Always, this is the basic reading is data of Unmeteo and Web of Science and Scopus like that. Emerging tourism trends offer researcher original and current study opportunities. These trends provide significant advantage not only in contributing to academic literature, but also generating practical solutions, industry problems, and obtaining funding. Emerging trends is so important. Why? Since it is original and timeless advantage, it is academic and practical contribution, and it has some funding and supporting opportunities. It has multidisciplinary research potential. Thank you so much for listening to me. I am the Dean of my faculty and International Office Coordinator. I have very limited time, so after 10 or 15 minutes ago, I will join another meeting. So if you have any question, you can contact me via my email, or now you can ask me a question. Thank you so much again.
Hello, Dr. Harsha, are you there? So, dear participants, if you are having any questions, please go ahead. So, we'll be, finishing the session within the next 5 minutes. If you are having questions, please ask. So, I believe from participants end there is no question. So, I wanted to, ask you some deliberations as the topic was, trends in tourism. So, sometimes, the facts about these trends, like mostly the data is released by central banks of different countries, or we can say development institutions like Asian Development Bank or World Bank, or sometimes IMF. They are releasing different data sources, inflation rates, uh, tourism trends, migration, and all. So how to write introduction with these trends if we are not factually having rich data sources to support?
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, dear professor. It is a good point. When I start to make an introduction or LR section or conclusion and discussion, I don't know how to start this role, but my friends who are qualified in this section said that please make a sample of any journal paper regarding your topics and also your research, and firstly read them by focusing yourself, and then one by one you have to understand, for example, paragraph 1, what it is said, what it was aimed, and the paragraph 2, what it was aimed and what it was said to us. In general, there are it must be number of paragraph in all section. For example, in a reputable journal, you can read an article regarding ecotourism, and it can have 6 or 7 introduction paragraph in introduction, but also in the same journal different topics can have the same paragraph. So the types of the section won't change, but the ingredients on parts of the paper can be changed. The title can be changed. The topic can be changed if possible, but the formats won't change. So in the first paragraph, you have to know what have to do right. In the second paragraph, you have to know what you have to write, but you will be qualified and you get experience day by day, writing by writing. It is not possible to understand from the first time when you start to write, but when you start writing introduction section and also after you send any journal, you can give some revision from the reviewers, and you will revise them according to their revision and then send again, and maybe they can give the second revision, third revision, or maybe fourth revision. It will develop your paper. So please be patient during this process, and you will learn by making a failure or making doing introduction regularly. So my second suggestion to all the researchers is that please make expert in one section in an article. For example, I am expert in conclusion, discussion, implication, and submission the journal. My part in an article is this. My another friend are doing analysis, and another friend are making the literature or introduction. Also, you know that there are big gap between the introduction and also the literature review. So my another suggestion is that please be experienced in one section or any paper. It is another important point is that. I hope I can answer your question.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, as the session is at the end, I want to give opportunity to young scholars or faculty if they are having any questions, they can straightforward quickly ask it. Meanwhile,
Mhm.
if they are having any question, they are preparing. I want to ask one more question so that our participants will get
Of course.
benefited. So, what is your, one important message for the beginners who are, just entering in the field of research and are very passionate to publish? But although they are starting sometimes because there is a lot of, literature available via social media, via, AI-based platforms. So they
Mhm.
find it difficult, although we are training this FDP from day 11, but still they are having, questions that where to start, they struggle, and they are not much more confident. I am talking about beginners. They are not much more confident about
Mhm.
themselves. So can you give them, one message that where they need to start and in the form of publication?
Mhm. Thank you so much for your question, dear Dr. Malik. And I think it is important to reply on behalf of me. I believe that encouragement is an important part of academic life. not only academic, maybe we can accept for all part of our life. Sometimes people can have a fear whether they having success or not before they start any job, but it is not true and it is not logical. When you meet someone before, you can have the unconscious whether the meeting or maybe whether the discussion will be fine or not. But before we meet someone, we cannot understand and we cannot know whether this meeting and whether this relation will be well or fine or not. So please encourage ourselves before doing something and during doing something, and show and shine ourselves in every part of our life what we are doing best. Everyone has a unique ability, and it is completely up to ourselves. It is not same, it is different, and it will be the highest part of our world to get the success and to get the peace and to get the community well-being all around the world. So firstly, we have to see our abilities and our specialities that only belongs to us, and we have to shine and we have to promote our sections, I think, firstly. And the last thing, I think, please meet anyone or everyone that you be in connect. You can add everyone in your circle in the social media. After the pandemic, we have learned that it could be possible to get connection with everyone around the world, and we can make engagement, we can make article, we can make negotiations, and we can make protocol in every part of the world. It is so easy for all of us. So please use this opportunity to integrate our life and to open our minds to the world. It is another this suggestion from me to a new researcher. I am not the old researcher. I think I am learning every day, everything, and it sometimes it's the life is so hard for me, since I have a very multiple role in my life, having a mother, having a also being a maybe child, and maybe I have many role in my faculty. It is not easy for me to continue life sometimes, but my power is working and producing every day. So I think there are anyone in this meeting love working and feed from working. So please encourage yourselves. The motivation of your life is working, connecting anyone, and having different peoples from around the world. I hope I can answer your question, Professor Malik.
Thank you very much for your deliberations. So we are
Yes.
having one small question in chat. It is by Kanan. He is trying to highlight that if we are using both, qualitative and quantitative method, so it sometimes looks challenge to use mixed method. So how to overcome this problem? So if you can share some, it is in a chat. He is asking about using of mixed
Sorry.
method and how to overcome the challenges.
Okay. Um, Many reputable journals wish to mix methods like the qualitative, quantitative, or smart PSL, or Fukajai, or systematical review. And maybe in the systematical review, you must have to use 2 or different methods. I'm not very well to making analysis section, but in my article reviews and also in my papers, I can say that you have to do these mix methods in the same time. You don't have to do in the same time. You have to do in the different time, and also all people have to in these paper expert regarding his area. In my college, for my article, every role belongs to different colleges. So please, it would be great if you work with anyone who better with different models and different analyses, but it is not easy to find this person. Some of them knows in the qualitative, some of them are better in the quantitative methods. So if you want to integrate these 2 different approach, you have to work with the different people, but the research design comes from the one person. Research design is so important, critically important. In our paper, research design firstly comes first, and then you will start the survey, and also you will start the another issues also. I hope I can answer your question. Thank you so much.
I would like to add to, last question. As he was talking about, using both methods, mixed method approach. So I suggested that, both these methods demand, the background, which is quite different. For example, if we talk about qualitative research method, so qualitative research method, we can deal only with like experimental method, we can have theoretical background, and we can support critical analysis. Where in quantitative terms, we have to have good knowledge about statistical methods like ANOVA, correlation, and then advanced about regression, multi-regression. Similarly, there are other bunch of models like panel or time series. So therefore, to mix up both, we should have basic understanding of conceptual clarity. We should have theoretical background. We should try to interpret the qualitative terminology. For example, in India, we are very well known about the studies which are qualitative in nature, like cost, gender, you know, religion. So these are qualitative variables. So we should have a backup, research behind that so that we can interpret them critically through the different theories or through the literature only. While in quantitative terms, we are using coding. We can, for example, take income. We can take, for example, GDP. We can take, for example, revenue. So there we have to apply. So these two mix, method approaches depend on that how much, you are technically sound while dealing with this mixed method approach. So I suggest you read some research methodology book, which will make you understand that how to make a qualitative analysis and how to advance toward this empirical analysis. So I hope I have done the deliberations. So in the end, I before I conclude, if anyone is having any question, please. So I will check there is someone writing. Ma'am, could you please suggest us how to find appropriate journal about write an article? For example, research area is waste management. So there is one chat, in question. This is Dr. Sominath Boria. So I believe, our madam is having very short time now. I can help you to how to find a, journal. You simply go to Google. In Google, you can, search journal finder. You put your title, keywords, or abstracts. It will give you suitable journal. So, work on. For example, you will write waste management journal. Just open on Google Journal Finder, you will find it. So, anybody having any more questions? So, Havisha, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please conclude the session. We are now winding up. We can conclude. Are you able to conclude, or I should?
Yes, sir. So, on behalf of organizers, sir, I will conclude. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. So, on behalf of the organizers, participants, and our collaborating partners, I extend my heartful gratitude to our resource person, Dr. Gul Erkol Bayram, for such an enriching session. Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable time and efforts to this faculty development program. I would like to give sincere appreciation to all the participants for actively interacting. Now, over to Firdaus sir for further conclusion.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Erkul, for joining and giving us your precious time. I know you are very quite busy with different conferences and engagement. So we are very grateful on behalf of Jammu and Kashmir Economic Association for giving us your valuable time, sharing the insights. Although the session was very, basics, and then you have touched your, trending about the tourism. So I hope we had a today, good session where all our participants learn how to start the research from the beginning. So on behalf of Jammu and Kashmir Economic Association, SSI International, Global Research Firm, Crescent University, School of Business, Manav Rachna University, Vocational College, University of Delhi, we are very grateful for joining us. We would also like to share our special gratitude to Havisha Gupta for moderating this session and running it smoothly. Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
time. We are looking forward for most such opportunities.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really